Hey guys, William here with Patriot Containers. July 3rd, 4th of July tomorrow. It's going to be a good day. I got friends flying in from different states. The area where I live in is really great with fireworks, and it's like a war zone. I'll be cleaning up for a long time. The most common question I get when talking to people that are either not ordering or ordering, they always ask, what should I put my container on? And a lot of people, they want to use concrete blocks or cinder blocks or all this stuff that they have. They could do a road base. They could do a concrete slab. Concrete slab's a lot of money, and it takes a lot of time to dry and everything before you can have the container. And if the concrete slab's too high, the truck can't get on top of it. But if it's done low enough, you can drive right on top, drop it down. That's the most expensive thing. When somebody says they want to do like stepping stones, you have a 5,000 or 8,600 pound container, and even though the container is being dropped off properly, it's not being dragged off of a truck and falling 4 feet. It's dropped, tilted down, and then the container is going to come down slowly. But that 1 inch drop, if you put like pavers underneath it and you stack them up, it can crack them, and your nice blocks are going to look like crap, and then you're going to have to fix it and figure out how to get the container up. You'd be surprised on how many people ask me that question but just slap it on the ground anyways. I always advise the most cheapest effective thing to use is 2 railroad ties. The containers are designed to be supported by only the 4 corners. Even on the ships, when they stack them up 5, 7 high with full capacity, they have what's called a twist lock that locks the containers only by the 4 corners. So there's a little gap in between those containers. So they're designed to hold the weight from front to back. They're not going to bend. They could twist a little bit if you don't put them on the ground level, which puts tension on the doors. And 90% of the time when people have doors that are hard to open, they put them on dirt and the container is just twisting just a little bit to put tension on those doors. The most cheapest thing that works the best for lifting your container off the ground is railroad ties. You only need, if I was doing a 20-footer, I would put 1 at the rear, 1 at the front. You're good. 40-footer, you still only need 2, but it's not bad to put maybe 1 in the middle. Some people that I'm telling that to, because railroad ties can cost $20, maybe $40. And it doesn't have to be your permanent solution, but it is solid wood that the container is going to come down and rest on. Now, when the driver gets there, you can't have 3 or 2 railroad ties already out there. You have to have 1 out there, and these ones pulled aside so he can back up to that railroad tie, drop it down, and as he's pulling away, you can slide in 1, and as he's getting to the very end, he'll stop, slide in the other one, and put it down. That container will be raised up off the ground 8 inches. So if you like the way it looks, keep it with the railroad ties underneath it. Now the water is running off of the container and not pulling up around the edges. You don't want your container to slowly sink into the land. You want it to be elevated up off the ground. But once the railroad ties are down, you either like it or you want to replace them. At least that container is up off the ground. Now you can get 2 car jacks underneath the container, jack up the container just this much above the railroad tie, pull out the railroad tie, and then you can stack your pavers on top of it, and you can level your container that way, and you can slowly drop the container down onto the concrete pavers that look nice and pretty, and it's not dropping 1 inch and cracking those things. And it just depends on you. But you'd be surprised on how many people ask me that question, and when we deliver, they didn't do anything and they had it delivered on the dirt, anyways. And so, but yeah, I think the cheapest, most effective thing to elevate your container off the ground is railroad ties. It covers all angles. They're not going to crack and shatter. It's going to get it up off the ground high enough to where you won't have water pulling up around the edges. It'll run off of it. The only downside of that is maybe critters and stuff getting underneath. But yeah, that's it, guys. Common question I get all the time. What do I put underneath my container? My answer, go cheap, go effective, and do railroad ties. You really only need two, one at the rear, one at the front on 40 footers, throw in one in the middle. That's it, guys. Have a great one. Happy 4th of July. Goodbye.